Thank you for tuning in with Majestic Life Solutions with Coach Kizzy. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? What's up, Instagram? So, today's quick talk is about some of the things that I done been over before or whatever. But this one right here is gonna be just this video because I wanna talk about habits and getting new habits or whatever, and things that you can do about getting new habits. Okay. So I had wrote before. About people telling people how to trying to make them get off drugs or whatever. So I'm just gonna read it again. And I seem like I done read this about 1,000 times. So deciding to get off of drugs is a highly personal and complex decision. Is ultimately rest with the individual. It's not a good idea for people to force or impose a person from doing drugs, because getting off drugs is not easy for some people. Some people will think you are trying to control their life. The motivation and commitment to becoming sober has to come from within. For many struggles with addiction, the path to recovery is a long and hard journey. So let the person start their own journey. You got to let a person start their own journey by breaking the grip of substance abuse. Requires for a mindset and the willpower, discipline, and the strength to overcome issues driving the addiction behavior. It demands that the individual confront their demons and shape their habits and relationships and build an entirely new lifestyle on being sober. And it's a process that has to be navigated at one's own pace, with an understanding that a person may relapse. It's coming in the journey. It's coming in the journey. Because it might be a long road. It might be a long road down the way that the person has to cross over, living a sober life. So it's ups and downs and trials and tribulations. So it is a journey. It's a hard journey. It's a long journey for certain folks to come to the senses of themselves, to say, you know what, I want to get off of drugs. I want to start doing something that's going to benefit my life and change my life. I might feel better than doing these drugs. You understand what I'm saying? So understand that. Understand that you can't make a person do something that they don't want to do, and especially if they are a grown individual, you can't choose their life. Only thing that you can do is be a support system, like I always talk about. Be a support system to somebody, and not trying to put them down and tell them that, oh, you need to put that down. You need to do this. I don't care if you their mama, they mama, daddy, uncle, sister, brother, whatever you are. But don't never try to tell a person that's using drugs that they have to do something. No, because it's gonna make them do it more. Because if you tell them and you keep telling them stop doing it, a grown individual, when you tell them don't do something, they're gonna keep doing it. So that means try to find another approach. Tell them to keep doing drugs. You need to keep doing drugs. You need to keep doing drugs. Maybe it will turn around. Keep doing drugs. Keep doing drugs. Because if you steady telling them that stop doing drugs, it's going to make them keep doing drugs. So maybe you probably need to tell them keep doing drugs then. Understand what I'm saying? Kind of switch it up a little bit. Some may need the support of loved ones, like I just said. Counseling, support groups, or rehabilitation programs to succeed. Others may find the strength to quit on their own on their own through determination of themselves. They got to be determined to understand that this is what I want out of my life. I'm not going to substance abuse again. Let a person choose their life how they want to choose their life. I dislike a person that always try to say, "Oh, they doing this, they doing that, they doing this." Well, let them make that choice of their own, because that's what God is taking them through. They're taking them through their trials and tribulations out on this earthly land, so you can't have control of what they doing about their drug addiction. So let them do that drug, and when it's come from within of themselves, then let them decide. Okay, we got that. We got to understand them. But regardless of the Pacific approach, the choice to become sober has to come from a place of a person hitting a hard rock problem in their life. For real, because sometimes that's what I say. A person got to hit a hard rock sometimes and say that I'm not gonna do this drug no more. This is it. The hard rock in my life, when I put that thing to my mouth and I'm about to light it, and God talked to me and God told me, you hit that again, you're dying. I just say it like that. That's what he told me. You hit that again, you're dying. It came all the way in my it came away in my spirit. He spoke those words to me. You hit that again, you die. And I hit it again. So knowing is a firm decision that the cost and consequences of continuing drug use. Okay, let me see what I mean. Of drug use have become unacceptable. It's become unacceptable for real. It's not because I'm off of them. It's become unacceptable. Because, like, just say for instance, when you look at people getting stopped by the police or something, you know what they always ask? Is there any drugs in the car? Is there any drugs in the car? Is there any weapons in the car? So, if you know exactly what they're going to ask, why have it in there? So that means the consequences and everything that you have to suffer from doing this. So that's why I say you got to let a person deal with their own problems at their own pace. You gotta let them deal with their own problems at their own pace. And being sober is worth fighting for. It's worth fighting for. I'm telling you it's worth it. I'm telling you it's worth it. It's not an easy path. It's not at all. It's not an easy path at all. But you gotta set your mind. Sit down with yourself and say, self, do I want to do this drug again? Self, do I want to continue being sober? You got to ask yourself. I ask myself. Look, do you want to continue being sober? Do you want to go out there in them streets and go hit that drug? Nope. But for those struggles with addiction, taking the first step, knowing in your heart it's more to life than that addiction. That's what I call growth for an individual, to act on life-changing situations and the courage of self-awareness and the commitment to a healthier future. For real. So some things that you can do, hold on, but some things you can do about some habits and stuff like that. So try to, like, if you offer, like, that's why I'm telling you, I drink coffee, and that's why you see me, I get up in there, I go clean up. You got to do something that change some kind of habits with another habit that's beneficial. That's not tearing you down. You know what I'm saying? So I get up and I go clean up. I go do something. Because it takes your mind off of thinking about, if you sit up there just not doing anything, you know what you're going to be doing? Because that's what I used to say all the time. I used to blame it on, oh, I'm bored. Oh, I'm so bored, I need drugs. I used to blame it on being bored. So If you're like me and you blame it on being bored, that's the only thing to do around here. So just do drugs. I used to blame it on that. So if you like me and that's what you used to blame it on, find another route. Find another route. Meaning when I say find another route, that means, hey, pick up some kind of other hobby. Pick up another hobby. Because at the end of the day, that drug habit that you have, it is a hobby of yours. If you don't think so, hey, it's a hobby. It's a hobby. Because you constantly do it. Try something different. So I did have some stuff to do, but I don't know where it's at. And I think it's over here. But we're gonna look for it. But at the end of the day, that's a lot of people. A lot of people, when they be saying get off drugs, you judging somebody. Don't you know that's a sin? Don't judge nobody for what they do in their life. Let them, because that's how you learn, and that's how you learn in life. How can a person learn something if they ain't never been through nothing? That's why God puts you through trials and tribulations in your life. That's why God puts you through tests. That's why God do this right here. But if you always got somebody that's gonna grab you out that mess, then guess what? You're not gonna learn anything. You're not gonna learn anything. Because you always got a Captain Saver person. So that's why if I had kids, I would let my kids, if my kids tell me, hey, I want to, go over here, and if you're old enough, 17 to me is old enough to say, okay, well, I'm supposed to go over here to house and all that stuff. So if you go over to house, you go over there, right? And y'all go rob something. I'm not getting you out. Better sit your ugly self down there, because you better sit your ugly self down there, because you have to learn. You have to learn exactly what you got to be obedient and be disciplined. So if you know that you outside of the house and you doing whatever you have to do, then hey, let me tell you something. That means that they have to bump their head, hit that wall. They gotta put a knot on their head. So if they put a knot on their head, then that means they not gonna do it anymore, right? Because they don't want that knot on their forehead no more. So that's how we learn in life, by coming to a hard rock in our lives. So you guys, that's all my time on this one right here. So just hey, if you're willing to do it, book an appointment, buddy. But seriously, for real though, I mean, like, hey, if you know somebody that's on drugs or whatever, don't try to force somebody to do something that you want them to do, because they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. They're gonna continue doing whatever they're doing behind your back, because you're trying to force them to do something. So when you force somebody to do something, do you know they're gonna do? They're gonna go hard in the paint and do it extra harder. So don't force nobody to do nothing. If you want to force somebody to do something, force your mouth to stay off that person and let that person have their own path, their own journey. And I do appreciate y'all for checking in with Coach Kizzy at Majestic Life Solutions. Hey, and just remember that God loves you, and so do I.